Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of McKenzie versus Guy.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Ms. McKenzie, you say Mr. Guy abandoned you and your daughter, Anaya, soon after she was born and denies he's her father only because he already has too many kids.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Guy, you say you knew this wasn't your child from the moment Ms. McKenzie said she was pregnant. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. McKenzie, when did you first realize that he denied he was your daughter's father?
Well, when I told him that I was pregnant, he kind of like was shocked a little bit. Then he was like, "She gonna be my 13th daughter. Like, how can I take care of all of them?"
His what child?
13th kid.
13 kids, Mr. Guy?
No, Your Honor. I told her I had 8.
He told me he had 8, and then he said when I told him I was pregnant, he said 13.
You're definitely wrong about that.
No, Tim,
You're definitely wrong about that.
So you're saying before he told you he had 8?
Yeah, and then it was like they kept popping up. Like I even went to school with one of his
That was the
kids.
other dude.
No.
You went to school with some of his kids?
With one of his kids. We was in college together. With one of his kids. And then like when I asked him
how old are you?
I'm 28.
And how old are you, Mr. Guy?
45.
Oh, boy. Okay, so when did you realize he was denying your child? That he said, this is not my child?
After I had her, he was at the hospital and everything. When he brought us home, he just like basically set her on the floor in her car seat. He was like, I gotta go run an errand. And he never came back, so he just left her there. Like, he just left us there for like months.
So you come in from the hospital?
Yes.
And he puts her on the floor in the car seat?
Yes.
And says, I gotta run an errand?
Yes.
And never comes back?
Exactly.
So you're there just caring for this child?
Caring for her.
Are you calling him?
Yes, I called him like, I called him so many times. Like he even like at one point just stopped answering my phone calls. Like I didn't speak to him until she was almost 6 months old. And I had to call him from my friend's phone.
So wait, you had to trick him. You had to call him from your friend's phone so he wouldn't recognize the number for him to answer because he had not been answering your call.
Yes.
Mr. Guy, have you been avoiding her calls all that time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why?
She was harassing me.
Harassing you about what?
Baby this, baby that.
Because she's your baby.
That ain't my baby, you know.
Okay.
It's milkman's baby, somebody's baby, but it wasn't mine.
Excuse me.
Why did you say it wasn't yours? Were you sleeping with her?
I was sleeping with her.
Were you using protection?
No, Your Honor.
So how do you think you're excluded from possibility?
Like when the baby was born, I was at the hospital and looked at the baby. I said, this ain't my baby.
When we was at the hospital, he said my baby looked like his mom and his grandma. That's what he said.
Did you say that at the hospital, Mr. Guy?
I don't recall saying that.
So why are you denying this beautiful baby? You say you were having an intimate relationship with her. Why are you saying it's someone else's child?
Because the instances that I catch her telling lies. Like one time, me and my brother pulled up. She was sitting in the car with somebody. And they was there for a while because we was sitting up there watching them. So.
What were they doing in the car?
I thought they was having sex.
Really?
Can I say something? That night that he's talking about, I called him and he told me to come over to his house. When I got there, he was not there. So when I was leaving, my friend that lives down the street from him saw me and gave me a ride. We were parked by my house, in front of our house, talking.
Were you sleeping with anybody else while you were having, what is this relationship? Are you all boyfriend and girlfriend or what?
I'm gonna just put it out there. He's a user. He used me. He lived at my house. He didn't pay rent. He didn't have a job. He used me.
We were staying with her for a second, but
so why were you even over there if you said the baby definitely wasn't yours, it was the milkman's baby?
They don't even deliver milk no more. How was it the milkman baby?
It was for convenience. I mean, it was just like, we was messing around. We was steady messing around.
All right. What is your doubt? What else, Mr. Guy?
One time I was getting off of work. They let me off work at maybe like 6 a.m. And I usually get off at 7. So I pulls up to the house and I looked at my phone, then looked back up and there was a dude standing right there. I'm like, where did he come from? And I said, okay, well, it's an apartment. So he might have came out of any one of those apartments in front of our apartment. So I go in there and ask her, was somebody here? No, nobody wasn't here. But then weeks has passed, it's the same dude. After I got off work early again because they shut everything down, got off work, he's sitting on the couch. I said, this is the same dude I seen that popped up. How is he sitting on the couch right now? Oh, he came over for a ride.
Who is this guy, Miss McKenzie?
I don't know who he's talking about. He keeps saying it's like there was never no guy. Like we had an apartment, 2 apartments here and 1 apartment right here. It was some girls that stayed upstairs where if you come down, you're standing in front of my door.
No.
It's the whole complex. And he just said, oh, this guy is coming out your house. This guy don't even know me. Like he never.
The guy was in the house. The same guy was standing in front. Was in the house. That you said, oh, he's just a friend. He came for a ride to work. So he passed all those bus stops in the middle of winter, 30 degrees weather. To go come and get a ride when he could have caught the bus cheaper.
He had a house key. If he get off at 6, why would I have somebody laying in the bed with me? And he has a house key.
No, because when I came to the door, you took time to open the door.
You have a house key.
So he was sitting there yawning. So I'm looking at it, I said, okay, how long are you gonna take to open the door? She had to open the door. So eventually it's one way in and one way out.
How long did it take her?
About 20 minutes.
So you stood there for 20 minutes?
Yes, been about 20 minutes. I wasn't going nowhere. I sit in my car. If it took an hour, I knew something was going on because why you take a long time to open the door? He's yawning like he's just getting up. I know your eyes bloodshot, right? And it's 30 degrees outside.
That led you to believe that she was with other people before the
That led me to believe that, you know, everything that I'm thinking is true. She's messing around with other people.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. This is your mom?
This is
my mom.
Ma'am,
stand, please. Ms. McKenzie, am I correct?
Yes.
And you are Ms. McKenzie's mother?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Anaya, your grandchild is 3.
Yes, Your Honor.
And we've been having this paternity issue now for far too long. What do you know about the situation?
I'm really upset at Mr. Guy because he denying my granddaughter. She really don't even know who he is. And I'm upset with him. And I did live with them for a while. And he goes to the club. He might not even come in for 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days?
Yes.
What's with all these disappearing acts, Mr. Guy?
He
I was
be
stressed.
a magician.
You were stressed.
Yeah, she stressed me.
He says I stress him because I feel like if we're adults and we live together, we're trying to build a family, you should be doing your part as much as I'm doing my part. If we're a unit, we're a unit. And if he's slacking, I feel like I should have to build him up if he's slacking. I'm gonna tell you, get it together. If I'm stressing you, it's because I wanna help our family. If you got all these other kids, I don't ever say, like, I'm not mean to his other kids. I want my kids to meet his other kids. You know, I want them to be able to play with their brothers and sisters, not grow up dating their brothers and sisters. So, if he's doing something, if he's getting drunk, Tim, stop getting drunk and go get a job. Like, do stuff like that. Like, why am I not supposed to do that if I'm your girlfriend? Like, okay, so you said I'm not your girlfriend, so why would I be stressing you? You don't get stressed from a fling.
Well, Mr. Guy,
Yeah,
what do you have to say to that?
I kept jobs. I mean, basically, since, like, she know me, she said, well, it's on and off.
Mr. Guy, I am trying to understand why you are doubting. Now, you're 45 years old in a relationship with a girl that's the same age as one of your children. You over at her house, you're accusing her of cheating on you before she's pregnant with your child, potentially. Where's the doubt? What is she doing wrong? I'm just not understanding from you. You say the guy was sitting in the house. Now, that didn't sound too good. But what else?
It's that when I was sitting there taking care of the other siblings, she'll go to school in the morning time, in which, you know, she'll tell me a certain time and come in at 12 a.m. So I looked up the little schedule of the school. There's no way she could be taking night courses because it ain't no night courses.
Exactly.
All right, so you brought an exhibit. Is this what this is about?
Yep.
Let me see that. Step over to your exhibit, please.
This is Exhibit A.
Oh, it's Exhibit A.
Yeah, this is Exhibit A. As you see right here, Your Honor, 7:45, this is the actual schedule they be having. 7:45 a.m., that's when classes begin. And 4:55 p.m., that's when classes end, the last class.
So the last class is at 4:55.
Yes.
And you say she didn't get home till midnight.
She didn't get home till midnight.
So where are you? Class don't last that long.
Your Honor, I have no idea.
Did you get missing after class, Miss McKenzie?
I would like to say, okay, yeah, if we can point to Exhibit A, as he say, 7:45 is when I started school. I had to take my son on the bus to my mother's house at 5 o'clock in the morning, get back on the other side of town at 7 o'clock, started my class at 7:45, got off at 4:45. Went to pick my son up and came back home and did my homework, and I did that every day. As far as him saying I got home at midnight, when I was going to school, I was also working, 3rd shift, cleaning college offices downtown.
I don't remember that job.
Because you weren't there. You even told me his friend even worked there with me. His friend worked there with me. He makes up stories because he has to make me look bad for the fact that.
So what you're saying is you were not sleeping with anyone else?
No.
There's no other possibility?
No.
Mr. Guy?
I think it's a lot of possibilities.
Why do you think there are a lot of possibilities?
Everything she's saying is inconsistent. Because like I said, I was there.
You was not there.
But
no birthdays, no Christmases, nothing.
He hasn't spent Christmas or birthday?
She don't know who he is.
She doesn't acknowledge him?
He comes to our city where we live, and I have to call him and say, do you want your kids here? Yeah, I come and get them. He never showed up. He came and got them for Thanksgiving.
How does it make you feel that Anaya's 3 years old and has absolutely no relationship with her father?
It angers me. It does. It infuriates me because why not? What did she do? Like, what did she do?
Right.
Why would you sit here and say she's not your daughter? And like I don't understand why. Look at my daughter. She's like amazing. She's brilliant. She's smart. She's funny. She has dance classes that he never even been to.
When you look at this beautiful little girl, Mr. Guy, and you hear Ms. McKenzie talk about all that you've missed and you haven't been a part of?
I just feel that I don't want to really be attached to a child that's not really mine.
And you truly believe she's not yours?
Yes, I really believe that.
If you just have no. Why would he sign her birth certificate?
Are you on the birth certificate?
I don't remember signing the birth certificate. I think she signed it.
You're lying.
She signed it because
in the state of Michigan, when you get ready to sign that birth certificate, they hand me your ID. You can't sign nothing
Jerome,
without
let me
him
see
being
this
there.
evidence.
I don't remember signing.
He signed it. He know he did. He even said after I had my baby in an hour, no drugs or nothing. He was there when I had my baby. He drove me to the hospital. He took 35 minutes to get me there, but he took me to the hospital. When he held her, he said she looked like my mom and my grandma.
Father's name, Timothy Terrell Guy. You right here.
That's not my signature.
So you're saying they just gave you a name that you never executed it?
Yeah, I don't see nothing.
His signature is on there. On Michigan's birth certificate, you have to sign your signature and then they type it. His signature is on there that he signed.
Were you at the hospital?
Yes, I was at the hospital.
Do you remember them having you sign an affidavit or an acknowledgement of paternity?
No.
You never executed anything?
No.
Just somehow your name got up on that birth certificate?
He held my hand through birth.
I'm just seeing where the signature at.
He was the only person there. He was the only person there when I had my daughter. He held my hand during birth.
And then just dropped you off at the house?
Like we was nothing. Like we was nothing.
Why did you even come to the hospital? If it wasn't your child, why even show?
Because he was at my house. Because he was living there. He was at my house when I went into labor. I went into labor at home.
Mr. Guy, what? I am trying to figure out what redeeming qualities you have.
And it's like, Your Honor, I get so angry at myself. Like, I don't ask him for money. I don't ask him for anything but time. I get so angry at myself because maybe I did make some mistakes in our relationship. Not as far as, like, sleeping with other people, but being a B. You know, like, cussing him out or getting angry because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to for our family. So, yes, maybe if I stressed him out, it was because I was angry. And I'm angry at myself that I allowed myself to get pregnant by him when I knew that maybe he wasn't capable of being a father. This is the first time since her birth that I ever asked him to do something for her birthday. And I just asked him for a little bit of money so I can get a gift and say it's from Dad. That's all I wanted. I didn't want no big.
But you shouldn't have to do that. She should have gifts from her father.
Exactly.
That her father
I feel wrong for that, though.
And that's why we have these answers for you.
I feel wrong for that because I felt like I was young and stupid and I wanted so bad to be a family. Like, I wanted a family.
Part of figuring out how to move forward is understanding where we are now and how we got there. And so we're working on that. We're working through it. And I have the results for you that will hopefully help you figure out where to go from here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of McKenzie versus Guy, when it comes to 3-year-old Anaya Guy, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Guy, you are her father. Now what, Mr. Guy? Speak.
I feel pretty much ashamed. I would like to be a father to her.
So what are you gonna do? Where are we gonna go from here?
Gotta first start by making up time
Yes.
with her, my daughter.
Yes.
And
When's the last time you saw her?
maybe 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Let me tell you something. Get yourself together. Really? You know good and well, if there was a possibility that you were that child's father, you should at least checked on that child. Or done in 2 years, not even laid eyes on her.
And he comes to our city, and he don't see her. I call him and say to him, come, you want to get the kids? He'll say, yeah, he'd never show up.
So now you gotta make this up to this little girl. And you can't run away, Mr. Guy, at the first obstacle or sign of rejection, because she's not gonna just run up to you and be daddy. You've got to prove it. You've got to earn it. You are also responsible to help Ms. McKenzie care for her financially. Don't miss this opportunity. This is a huge opportunity to reintroduce yourself or introduce yourself into this beautiful little girl's life and be the father that you have to be. You understand? Court is adjourned.